Oliver Pichon Luthier here, and this is part 2 on making the rosette. So in the previous video you saw how we cut very small pieces of ebony and then made little pieces of tile, and I've taken those and I've just put my plane on there as a weight, and we have glued those pieces of ebony now to this piece of paper. So we're going to take these, and I put a very thin coat of fish glue on that just to make sure that it wouldn't get in between the joints of the ebony, because at this point we want to make sure that it's flexible. It's glued to the paper, but they're not glued together. So, and that's important at this step. So I'm just going to cut this out so we don't have to deal with quite so much paper. The paper is just holding them together at this point. And we're going to then cut the pieces of ebony into this shape right here, so they just form a ring, and this ring then will be inlaid into the top of the ukulele around the sound hole. So we're going to turn this into this. So the first thing we want to do with this is put it on this board that has a 3/16 inch metal dowel in the middle. So we'll just attach this down with some tape so it doesn't skid around on us. And I just make my own tape like it. This works fine if we just kind of put this down in this fashion. This. Okay, so I put some tape down to hold this, and I put a hole right in the middle of the piece of paper, and I just set that down over on top of this like that, so it's centered. Press it down really well. Now, we have cut these little pieces so they're about a 1/16 of an inch thick, approximately. And what we want to do is we want to cut these out. So the way we do that is we're going to set this is a Dremel, and the way this works is that this little brass thing here in the middle goes over the pin like this, and then this just turns around and gives us a perfect cut all the way around. And we can set the size of it by shifting it back and forth on this carriage that sits on the other carriage. And I have it marked off so that I know, for example, like on the rosette, the outside cut is going to be the B mark, inside cut is the A mark. So if I come over onto this side, I've got it. I line up the little lines I made for B, and I'll line up the little lines I made for A. But at this point we want to go clear through in terms of our depth. So I'm just letting it right over the top, and I'm going to put this down until it hits the plywood on the base, and then I know that that's as deep as we need to go. So then I can set this here, which will only allow it to go that deep when I lift it up. But I'm going to just back it off just a skosh so that it goes just a little bit deeper. So we want to make sure that we get all the way through the ebony. There we go. So another thing that I have set up on my Dremel is that I have down here, as you can see, I have a foot switch so that I can use both hands up here and I don't have to worry about, let's see if I can get that a little closer. That works pretty good there. So I don't have to worry about turning it on and off with my hands, which the switch is in an awkward place and I don't want to jiggle it while I'm doing it. Whenever you're cutting or working with ebony or shell of any kind, be it abalone or mother of pearl, you always want to wear a mask because the dust is from these hardwoods is toxic, as well as the shell. I have this set so right now it's on the B, which is going to be the outside. We're going to cut the outside curve. Okay, so we want to make sure we made it all the way through. Yeah, it looks like we did all the way through. Vacuum that up. Now we'll set this, the inside cut is my little A mark, so I'm going to line up the A's on this. There it is. Line those up. Right there. Okay, so now we've cut out this and we'll see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good at this point, so I take this off, these pieces of tape here, and then we can get this off. Just folding the tape over like that to give yourself basically a kind of a double-sided tape works really well. And a lot of double stick tape is expensive, and it also is really intense. So here's this. I use this board over and over and over and over again. So here's our rosette. Get the tape off of that. This paper will be easy to deal with later. I'll show you an easy way to deal with it. Now when we size these things, with anything that's not manufactured, that's handmade, often the pieces will be just slightly different. They're not all perfectly the same. So what I do at this point is I like to mark them. So I know which one goes where. I'm just going to start here and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Just mark them all. 4, 6. I always draw lines under my 6 and my 9 because I don't want to get them confused if they're upside down. So we have 16 pieces here. And we'll see how they fit in here. Yeah, see that fits in there really nice. So this little piece of plexiglass that I've routed this channel in, the reason that I've done that, I'll show you in a minute. Okay. So we can take a, actually I think I might put it over, you can see it's the paper's coming apart. Let's see if it fits in this better. It's just a little snug in this one. So I have this other one too. How it fits in this one. Yeah, it fits better in this one. Okay, so it fits nicely into this one. And the reason that I have this is so now I can go over it like this with a piece of sandpaper on my sanding block and take all that paper off. So we'll have individual pieces. When we cut or route the channel into the top, we're going to only go 1 millimeter deep because the top's going to be 2 millimeters, and that gives us, means that the pieces will only be inlaid halfway through the thickness of the top. So anyway, you get the idea. I don't have to do this whole thing while you're watching me. So, but the pieces come out like this, and they look really good. So we can take these pieces, you know, and we'll set them in a mold like this. I'll trim them down just the thickness of the abalone that goes in between each one of those, and that'll be in the next video. But at least you see how this is done. I hope you enjoyed this. If it was useful to you, or if you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.